In this workspace, we've got 3 different drawing tools: the Freehand Tool, the Ellipse Tool, and the Rectangle Tool. With the Freehand Tool, when you click, you can click and drag, and it will let you draw freehand whatever you want. As you draw, if you hold Shift, you can backtrack in case you need to go back. If you move off too much to the side, it'll actually turn that into a straight end, so you don't really want to do that. But as you go backward, if you ever really needed to, you can backtrack along your line. You let go, and it ends your curve. If you wanted to keep going, you can bring your mouse back over until you see that arrow head, and then you can click and drag and continue onward. If you make it all the way back to the beginning, it'll once again show you that arrowhead, and you let go, and it will close that shape up. If you notice this icon here, this shows that it's a closed path. If I were to click on that, it would show that it's an open path, so we'll go ahead and keep it closed. If you don't want to do freehand lines, what you can do is you can click once, move your mouse, and then click again, and it'll draw a straight line. So you just click, move your mouse, click again. If you want to keep those lines straight, you can hold Control while you do that, and it will constrain it. So even if I move my mouse up or down a little bit, it stays in a straight line. If I move too much, it will go ahead and change the line to a 15-degree angle increment. If you look down at the bottom, you'll see where it says down here the angle that you're drawing at. It also gives you the distance for how long that is. We'll go ahead and delete that and create an ellipse. With the ellipse tool, if you click and drag, it will build an ellipse. I'll undo that. If we click and drag while holding Shift, it'll do it from center. If you hold Control, it'll create a circle. Make sure that you release your mouse button before you release Control or Shift, otherwise those settings won't stick. Ellipses have special properties in that you can have a closed ellipse, you can have a pie, or you can have an arc. And you can change the angles here depending on how you want it to look. Or if you want to do it interactively, you can use the Shape tool to click and drag. If your mouse is on the inside while you're dragging, when you release it, it'll turn into a pie shape. If you're dragging and you move your mouse to the outside, it will turn it into an arc. With the Rectangle tool, same thing applies. If you hold Control, it'll be a square, and if you hold Shift, it'll grow from the center as opposed to going to one direction. So if I hold Shift, it'll build from the center, and Control does a square. Again, you release your mouse button first before you release your keyboard buttons. Rectangles also have special properties where you can have different corner styles. You can choose a corner style and then set a certain distance that you want it to chamfer or scallop. You can also do it interactively, so if we click here, you can just drag those and it will interactively switch that. If you don't want to change all of the corners at the same time, you would uncheck this and then click on a corner so that only one corner is black, and then as you drag it will only do that single corner. If we go back this direction all the way, then it can reselect all those corners, and we'd be dragging all of them at the same time. So if you click it so that there's only one corner selected, then you can do one corner at a time. Or you can click on it, hold Shift, and click on another one, and only do the top 2 corners, for instance.